Bloomfield great. It's an honor and pleasure to be here. Second speaking engagement from yesterday. Man, first time in New Jersey, so
hey,
great place. Man, well, I'm the author of this book here, The Wonders of My Soul. It's my first book, details my life as a gang member, relationship between me and my mother. I ultimately go to prison. When in prison, I meet my father for the first time. And this book here details the letters that he wrote to me, which is a very powerful book. And this is my latest of that edition. My Soul Looks Back, Life After Incarceration. It details my 11 years since I've been home. So with each book, I'm going to kind of cover different things I experienced, the information I've been able to gain from the book, and just things, people I've been able to meet. I give it to you real, I give it to you raw. If I didn't do it that way, I think I would be doing you a disservice. The society that we live in is cheating human beings, in my opinion. Actually, before we came over here, Dr. Hill had showed me a clipping of a documentary a friend of ours was doing called Little Brothers, and then it was little guys across the nation. And as I was watching it, what entered my mind is how many of our youth, our young people, are being cheated every day. They're being cheated of opportunity to experience life. They're being cheated their childhood, especially black and brown youth. Growing up in environments where gunshots you begin to interpret as firecrackers. You begin to say, well, that's a little joy, they do this all the time around 6 o'clock. You no longer duck. You just accept it as normal. And abnormal has become normal for a lot of folks in the United States of America. And that's a tragedy for when you look at the country that we live in, the home of the free, the land of the great. We have more poverty anywhere in the world. We have more suffering anywhere in the world. And that should be a calling for any human being. So how can you look at yourself in the mirror, look at yourself in the TV, and you're knowing somewhere around the corner, down the road, is suffering. Some child is being denied what you experience. So I can go very deep and talk about my mother, how she sold her body to make sure that me and my sisters had food, clothes, and shelter. The society that we live in, she would be considered a hoe, a prostitute, a slut. That's my mother. She did what she had to do to make sure that me and my sisters was took care of. And there's a lot of other women across this country that's doing the same damn thing. And women like that, looked at as an injustice to themselves of what they're forced to do. But we fail to recognize that we live in a capitalist society. We live in a society that teaches us that materialistic gain is everything. And here you are as a human being, and you're not socially fit to get a job. The only thing that can work for you is selling your body. Supply and demand. That's what capitalism is, right? Mm-hmm. Supply and demand. Here she had a demand, she supplied it. Not for herself though, for her children, for her family. When most people hear that story, again, you look at the gruesome and the ugliness of it, but you see we fail to look at the beauty, the sacrifice. Because we forgot what sacrifice was about. Many of our parents and many of our great parents sacrificed for us to be here today. Sacrificed everything they had. And that's what I grab out of that story. My mother, she survived for me and my sister to be able to live, to understand and appreciate the things in life that we didn't appreciate. Because we grew up fast in America. We grew up fast chasing these materialistic goals, these materialistic dreams that become nightmares. I grew up without a father. I knew him as a sperm donor. I knew him as the guy saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and didn't do a goddamn thing. So the things I missed in my household, I found in the streets. The streets became my father. They taught me how to slang. They taught me how to gangbang. They taught me how to be a man, which was an undeveloped process. But I was through in the lion's den, and I had to figure it out. And I figured out the best way I could, and as well as me and my homies. and many of them are not here today. Again, we all have a social responsibility to our community, to our larger society. Some of us like to talk about, well, we're all human. If we're all fucking human, why are we all not doing our part then? If we're all human, if that's what we believe. Because again, there's some folks out here that's starving, that's suffering. And if we're neglectful to them, we're setting ourselves up to be a potential prey. Care makes all the difference in the world. Consideration makes all the difference in the world. Love is the ingredient that connects us all. So when you stop seeing the good in others, you stop seeing the good in yourself. Because when you pull off the skin complexion of all of us, we all bleed, we all have pain, we all hurt. These are common denominators amongst all human beings across this nation, across this globe. But we get caught up in certain dynamics that allows us to separate. We look at the word race. I'm not pro-race, because reality there's no such thing as race. That's a part of the Western culture, the Western society that has shaped us and that has divided us. I am against racism, which has come out of that we continue to absorb and take in. And when we take that in, we become agents of that. And how we become agents of how we deal with each other through stereotypes, through exploiting. When I was in prison, I was part of this religious group, and it was a black religious group. And one guy, he was like, man, let's go stab all the white boys to celebrate a holiday. I'm like, man, you got to be crazy. What's that going to solve? And that's where his thought process was. But for me, the education that I received had broke me free to allow myself to behave in an animalistic way. Because I realized, whether it was white, black, or brown, we was all suffering from the same situation, from the same system. So us fighting against each other, who would that have benefited? Those who governed us, who didn't benefit us. Whether we educated ourselves, whether we ate, or whether we got a body. And that's when you can make that connection, you become a human being. When you can begin to see yourself beyond who you are. And you can see others in the situation. I'm not saying be naive. What I'm saying is stop going for the hokey way. Stop being good when you think that's good. We can get caught up in our own little world. That world up. The world around. Instead of how to think. Very few of us really question what goes on. And when we don't question what goes on, we go for the okie doke. We go for the banana in the tailpipe. We allow for poverty to exist. We allow for wars right here in this country to exist. You have the Crips and Bloods who have been beefing with each other for over 30 years. That can be argued that any other war that America has decided to intervene, that has decided to mediate, has decided to assist in, has been neglectful to a war that's been going on your own land. There are thousands and thousands of black and brown men. Blood is in the streets of LA. Thousands and thousands of black and brown men are being ushered off into prison as a solution to undeveloped behavior. You talk to any warden, you talk to anybody that's affiliated with any department of corruptions across this country, and they'll tell you, ain't no fucking rehabilitation going on in there. When you took them out the GED, the college programs, the educational programs, when many of you all graduate, you're going to bust your ass to try to find a job. And some of you are going to be successful, others going to continue to fight. Many people graduate from college don't even go immediately right in the field that they graduated from. Why? Because there's not enough jobs in America for Americans. That's a reality. So just imagine a guy coming out of prison who's black and brown, who's been labeled a felon. What opportunities are there? Some of them forget that self-preservation